Well, at the end of the year quickly approaching, a number of new laws and policy changes are set to take effect in the new year, from taxes to family services. New at 10, we take a look at some of the biggest changes you should know about before the new year begins. As the calendar turns to 2026, multiple changes approved during the 2025 legislative session are scheduled to take effect across Wisconsin, impacting taxes, family services, and other areas of daily life. Starting January 1st, several tax changes approved this year will apply to the 2026 tax year. Those changes affect how income is taxed and how certain credits and deductions are applied. Some actions, such as contributions or paperwork, must be completed before December 31st in order to count for the upcoming tax year. These changes are part of broader adjustments approved by lawmakers and signed into law this year with the goal of updating tax policy heading into the new year. Beyond taxes, family-related policy changes are also taking effect. Beginning January 1st, Wisconsin will increase monthly payments for licensed foster parents and relatives caring for children through the Kinship Care Program. Under the new state budget, payments will rise 2.5%. The change may help counties recruit and retain foster and kinship caregivers, according to the Legislative Fiscal Bureau, as thousands of children remain placed in foster homes statewide. Other laws passed during the 2025 session are also scheduled to take effect in 2026, including updates tied to public assistance programs and public safety policies. Some changes begin the 1st of January, while others are set to roll out later in the year. With several deadlines falling before the end of December, you are encouraged to review how the new laws may affect your household as Wisconsin moves into 2026.